Look who's back with us now, Floyd Mayweather. Let's talk some football, shall we, guys? The Cowboys host the Red Hot Packers this Sunday in the divisional playoff. Floyd, will the accident waiting to happen be this weekend for those Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I choose Prescott over Romo.
Okay.
He's been looking tremendous this year. He's playing. Youth is on his side. Strong legs. He's fast. He's accurate. I choose Prescott. But it's dangerous with playing against Aaron Rodgers. He can upset you.
Even with Jordy Nelson injured? Jordy Nelson got 2 cracked ribs for Green Bay in that game against the Giants.
Well, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. With Jordy Nelson out, it's going to be tough because Jordy Nelson is Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy.
What about the fact that the way the Cowboys block for the run gave Green Bay a lot of problems at Green Bay earlier in the season? Does that happen again, or is Green Bay a new team over the last, since Aaron Rodgers said we're going to run the table?
Anything can happen with Aaron Rodgers. You can't count him out because he has more experience than Prescott does, you know, at that level.
How do you feel about the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have 2 rookies leading the way? Do you think that ultimately is going to catch up with them, or are you banking on them running the table and possibly going to the Super Bowl, if not flat out winning it?
If they do get to the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be against the Patriots. And when they play Brady, it's going to be tough.
Their defense is predicated a lot. Speaking of defense wins championships, you know all about that. Their defense is predicated on their ball control offense, right? They're able to control the clock. But is their defense good enough to even get by the Packers if Rodgers gets hot, let alone run the table?
With Jordy Nelson out, I didn't know Jordy Nelson was out. Do I think they're going to win? Absolutely. But if Jordy Nelson was in, you know, Aaron Rodgers' chances is a lot better. As far as defense,
They'd have to play either the Falcons or the Seahawks after that.
Oh, man. Seattle looked very good last week.
Well, who's your favorite team? Let me check your objectivity in all of this. Who's your favorite team?
I live in Las Vegas, and we don't have a team.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
The sports book is my favorite team.
I got you.
Okay.
I feel you. I
Do you
believe
want
you
a
there.
team, though? Do you want a team in Vegas?
No. No, not
You don't?
that.
Why
So you're
not?
not going to be happy about the Raiders coming to Vegas?
I mean, it's gonna mess up the sports betting.
Why?
It's gonna be tough. I think so. It's gonna be very, very tough.
Why? Because they'll be so vigilant about gambling because the team is there?
I think so. It's gonna be real, real dangerous with the gambling. It's gonna be very, very dangerous.
Let's transition to the NBA because, you know, first of all, it's a lot of stuff going on. Max and I are debating about who his attitude is. LeBron James is the MVP every day, all day. But for the purposes of a debate thus far this season, it's between Russell Westbrook and James Harden. I'm going with James Harden right now as league MVP. You mentioned your boy Isaiah Thomas for the Boston Celtics. Talk to me.
Well, Isaiah Thomas is the only guy that's 5'9" in the NBA and is averaging 28 points. In history, we don't know no guy that's 5'9" and averaging 28 points.
But it's not pound for pound in basketball. He's still got to match up against bigger guys.
They're number 3 right now in the East. If he get one more piece, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
So as of right now, I like LeBron as the MVP every year, the same way I would call you pound for pound every year, even if someone else had a more active year.
Okay, you like LeBron because LeBron knows how to stack his team. But then when Durant did it, they gave Durant a bunch of slack.
Well, they did it with LeBron at first.
I feel like this. I like how it was in the old days. Bird had his team, Magic had his team, and you played with the team that you had. Like Kobe Bryant never left the Lakers. He played with the team that he had.
But he asked for a trade.
But I don't like the simple fact is when LeBron James wanted to become a free agent, how they tore his posters down, they burnt his jersey, and then they love him when he come back. That's not cool.
So
Okay, hold on.
I bring up LeBron because that's my choice for MVP every year. But right now, everyone's talking about either Westbrook, who I picked preseason, I figured he'd have the numbers, or Harden. Between Westbrook and Harden, who's having the better year right now?
I like James Harden.
Because?
I go by your team winning, not just what you're doing. Your team also have to win.
The record backs it up.
Hold on, let me go back to something here. Because, see, I don't like what I need clarification.
I'm going to give you clarification. Let's go.
We got LeBron James going to Miami. I got no issues with that whatsoever. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with going to South Beach. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all, okay? Not to mention the fact that, again, Miami wasn't much before he arrived with Chris Bosh to join Dwayne Wade. In the case of Kevin Durant...
That's 3 franchise players.
Hold on, wait a minute, though. I said they weren't much until they arrived together. My point is, Kevin Durant went to a 73-9 team, all-time single-season, regular season record, who were the reigning defending champions, who he was up 3-1 on, lost that series, and 3 weeks to a month later, he ends up with them. You don't see the difference in that?
He's a free agent.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
When you're free, you're able to go where you want to go.
No,
we have to stop being so tough on these athletes and let these athletes go where they want to go.
But Floyd, okay, I get that, and I'm for Durant joining the Warriors. If they would have won the chip, I would have been like, time out. But they didn't. He joined the Warriors, fine. Why is it okay for Magic just to have Kareem, you know, one of the greatest who ever lived, and just to have Worthy, or Bird to have McHale and Parrish? But if LeBron looks around and goes, okay, my GM can't put this together for me, I would think that you would appreciate him saying, then I'm going to put it together for me.
You can win, me, myself, I think any athlete, I'm saying, me, myself, I could put you in my corner. I could put you in my corner. I could remove my father. Not saying that my father is not a good trainer. But once you get to a certain level, you already know what to do anyway. With that being said, is this. LeBron James should know how to win with whoever he's with if he's that great.
But he did. He got the Cavs to the finals without a good team.
And what happened?
Well, he lost, of course, because he played a good team.
He lost. Got swept.
Got smoked. Yeah.
I mean, he could have won at least one game. But LeBron James is one of the best players to ever play basketball.
What about the year 2 years ago when he got to the finals and Kyrie goes down and he doesn't have Kevin Love and he takes the Warriors 6 games by himself? I mean, it's impossible to overcome other very talented teams that are stacked. Doesn't everyone need help?
LeBron James is an unbelievable player. We all know that. But when it's crunch time, he need to take over.
Time out. I'm not letting either of y'all get away with this conversation. Let me get back to Kevin Durant, because it's a very important point that I want to piggyback off of.
Kevin Durant is the best scorer.
Yes, he's top 2 all world. He's top 2 in the world. He's top 2 in the world.
He may not be the best shooter.
No, I'm not questioning he's a superstar.
Is Curry the best shooter?
Listen. But here's my issue. It's because he's a superstar. And chose to go to a team already loaded with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, okay? Because he chose that route. The Floyd Money Mayweather that I know, if there was a way to compare that to a boxer piggybacking off of somebody else's greatness, you'd lose your mind. You'd say, look at what I had to go through. Look at what I went through to get to where I'm at. They didn't do it this way.
They do that every day.
I'm just saying, and you call them out on it, but somehow, some way, you're telling us to be light.
That is true. You kind of sound a little salty about LeBron, but then giving Kevin Durant a pass.
No, I'm not giving any of them a pass. I'm saying if you have to be the same way with both of them. You can't say
I agree.
It's okay for LeBron, but it's not okay for Durant.
Yeah, Stephen A. Yeah, I've been trying to tell you that for months.
So if it's okay for LeBron,
you lucky I allow you to talk.
Get in on this, Molly.
Hold on. The way you get with her, please.
If it's okay for LeBron to do it, it's okay for Durant to do it.
I'm saying to you, how do y'all sit there and look at them as the same situation? Knowing basketball the way that y'all do. Y'all don't see the difference between Kevin Durant going to the Warriors and LeBron joining the Miami Heat? You don't see any difference in that?
Okay. LeBron James has Kevin Love, a franchise player.
Now, I ain't talking about Cleveland. That's different. Going back to Cleveland with Kyrie and Kevin Love coming on board, that's totally different. I'm talking about the Miami.
He still had franchise players.
Was Chris Bosh a franchise player? Really, that's where we going? I respect
Toronto
Chris
went to
Bosh.
the playoffs.
Absolutely.
He averaged.
Yes.
Hold on.
Chris Bosh averaged 20 and 10, and he took Toronto to the playoffs.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to a good dude in Chris Bosh who can play, but we gonna act like Chris Bosh the second coming?
He wasn't a top 5 player, but he was top 15.
Hold on, let me ask you this: what's Chris Bosh the equivalent of Klay Thompson or Steph Curry? Is that what y'all telling me?
Klay Thompson, yes.
You got
No. Klay Thompson, one of the best players in the
I'm
NBA.
saying,
but so was Chris Bosh at the time.
Got to be crazy.
So was Chris Bosh.
Bosh is the same as Klay
Listen.
Thompson.
Back then,
I have
yes.
to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why in the NBA they do not give Klay Thompson his just due?
Thank you, right. That's what I'm saying.
He's one of the best players in the NBA.
One of the
That's right.
best
So
players.
was Chris Bosh back then.
Not only is Klay Thompson one of the best players, Klay Thompson is one of the top shooters we've ever seen.
Hold on.
Well, you gonna say
Time
that
out. I
about
just want
Chris
everyone
Bosh?
to see this.
Chris Bosh?
Chris Bosh, when LeBron went to Miami, was he or was he not one of the
He's
best
an
players in the
all-star.
NBA?
He's an all-star.
He's one, yes.
Yeah,
He's one
as
of the best.
Klay Thompson is now.
Time out. He was an all-star.
So is Klay.
But what I'm saying
He's not being mentioned for MVP.
I'm not talking about stature in terms of all-star, whatever. I'm talking about knowing the game of basketball and understanding how prolific they are. You trying to tell me that Chris Bosh had the same impact as Klay Thompson?
Yes.
You got to be crazy.
Chris Bosh, hold on.
What?
Time out. Chris Bosh was the best player on a team by far who used to go to the playoffs, and he used to average 20 and 10 and play
Chris
defense.
Bosh was a dude that could put up numbers he can play. But Klay Thompson is one of the prolific shooters this game has ever seen. And Kevin Durant is joining him and Steph Curry. And you compare that to LeBron joining Bosh.
You want to go down the list? I'll name a bunch of players better than Klay Thompson right now.
Go ahead. I don't want to use up all this time. I'll get back to you. I got plenty of time to deal with you. Go ahead, man.
Y'all gonna debate every day about who's the best player.
There's no debate. Kevin Durant is top 2. LeBron's number 1. Everybody else falls in line. I'm simply saying to be a superstar of that caliber, but to join a team with that arsenal who just bounced you out a month earlier, I can't believe Floyd Money Mayweather don't have a problem with that.
Man, I like all players.
All right.
But we have to talk about. Let's talk about boxing, man.
That's right.
I got Mayweather Promotions.
Okay.
We have a huge fight this weekend. Showtime, my champion, WBC champion, and we also have the IBF champion. And it's gonna be an explosion this weekend. This is a fight that you can't.
I'm glad you want to switch back to boxing because I wanted to go there anyway. Because I'm disgusted with your response about Kevin Durant.
Badu
I'll deal with that anyway. I watch Badu
versus James DeGale.
I like him.
A unification bout, and I also have the IBF 130-pound fight on the undercard.
How committed is Floyd Money Mayweather to competing against the Bob Arums of the world and others as a promoter? I mean, is this something? I know you take your business seriously because you want to make money.
You know what I really believe in?
Wait, go ahead.
I became a promoter in the sport of boxing not to make money off of fighters, for the fighters to get the lion's share and to help fighters, because I know how fighters feel because I was in the position that they're in now. Whereas other promoters, and I'm not saying Bob Arum or Don King, but most people that get in the sport of boxing, promoters, get in this to make money. I'm going to make money. Of course, I want to make money, but I'm in this to help fighters. I'm in this to really help fighters.
How much was Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy the model for that? The top draw in the game, using his leverage with TV networks to get dates from networks so that he could build his promotional company, and then he's still around doing it.
I'm being honest. I mean, Golden Boy, and I don't knock Golden Boy, they're holding on now because of Canelo. But what we believe in, what we really believe in, we believe in loyalty. Showtime took Canelo from the beginning and helped him get to a certain level, and then De La Hoya took him over to HBO. I don't have anything against it, but I'm talking about me as a promoter. I'm loyal. I stayed with HBO until my contract was up. I went to them first and said, this is the deal I want. On more than one occasion, 4 or 5 times they said, Floyd, we can't do the deal that you want. So that's when I went on to Showtime and they got the deal done.
You talked about loyalty amongst boxers. I don't know all the details, so I'm not casting any aspersions on anybody.
Yes.
But I remember that sort of beef, whatever it was, between you and Adrian Broner. And the one thing that resonated with me is that you always came across as somebody that tried to do good things for him. And then somehow, some way, things fell apart. I'm not asking you about you and Adrian Broner per se, but what I'm saying is as a promoter now, when you speak about loyalty, is that really a reasonable expectation considering how temperamental boxers can be?
Even though we have a lot of fighters that's disloyal, we have promoters that's disloyal, I'm trying to make the sport better. I'm being honest, as far as being a lot more positive. The Floyd Mayweather that I was when I was 19, 21, 25, 30, 35, I'm totally different now. Next month I'll be 40. So I look at sports and the boxing game totally different. I'm here to help fighters. Mayweather Promotions is here to help fighters grow.
Let me ask you this. How do you do both? Because it seems to me boxing is a lot of exploitation of fighters,
Yes.
which you spoke about for many years.
Yes.
And one of the things that you and Al Heyman did was flip that around at times, and sometimes exploited the networks and the fans. You flipped the script, as they say, the paradigm.
What do you mean?
How do you,
Explain.
well, for example, if you have a fight where guys are landing a lot of punches, that's not good for the fighter's health, right? But you can sell that to the fans. So as a promoter, how do you do both? How do you bring excitement, pump up the game, and also protect fighters from being hurt, because it's a hurt business?
In the sport of boxing, my mentality is this. If you're going to take a lot of punishment, try to get much as you can possibly get financially for taking the punishment.
So it's not about necessarily the style of the fight, it's about compensating the fighters as well as possible for the risk.
That's what I said. It's not about the promoter winning. It's about the fighter winning. It's about the fighter getting the lion's share.
And how do you make money as a promoter if that's the case?
Of course, I have to make money because I'm taking all the risk. And I feel like I paved the way. You know, I gave this sport my whole life, blood, sweat, and tears. And you give these fighters are very unappreciative nowadays, very unappreciative.
So is that your way of saying that you're going to make sure you get yours? What you're not going to do is take a lump sum to the degree that other promoters in the past may have taken.
I'm not going to do that.
That's what you're saying.
I'm not going to do that. What goes on, what fans and people don't know what goes on in the sport of boxing. If a promoter gets $3 million for a bout, a promoter may give one fighter $700,000, give another fighter $200,000, that's $900,000, and then pay the whole undercard $100,000. He pockets $2 million. He takes the gate. He takes merchandise. He takes the money for the merchandise. He takes the live gate, and he takes all the
Foreign rights.
the foreign rights and the sponsorship money. We believe in treating fighters fair. They can say whatever they want to about Floyd Mayweather. I've been fair in the sport of boxing, and I'm truly blessed to be where I'm at because I've been fair.
And we'll get to see your fighter Saturday night, Barclays Center on Showtime.
Oh, man. Badu Jack, James DeGale, unification bout, super middleweight bout. Showtime. You guys cannot miss this bout.
Floyd, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming to Bristol. I didn't know we'd have you here. Coming up next, Matt Ryan has been